right, we are back, and it looks like we're going to be hanging out with Billy a little bit more. I guess David must be the only 5-0 at this point. It looks like we're going to have Billy against one of the top TWL players in Noah Walton, longtime great player. I have to imagine one of the top couple players in this division. Promises to be a fun one. Looks like assume Billy to starters. He just mixing them up really good.
I believe it's Noah to go
Yeah, I guess
first.
whoever's on the
It's
left is always
always
going
the
first. Yeah.
always the leftmost player here.
You know what? As we know, lefties rule and righties
Duel.
duel. That. Well, I personally have had a minute and a half ad going, but
The joys of our Twitch platform, which I don't know if we monetize any of that. We should look into that. But anyway, I ran into Billy after that game, and
yeah.
he seemed a little bit, or he said something along the lines of, "Oh, I deserve to lose that one because I phonied," and that's a mentality that I think is not super useful. I mean, there is always you always have to judge how well you're playing because you want to adjust from there. But I don't think you can get in the mentality of I deserve to win because this I didn't deserve to win because I made a mistake. The reality is we're all fallible, and the most important thing is mostly to recover and keep playing well. So let's see if he can bounce back. Noah looking for an R for cryostat,
Yeah.
but failing that. Caddy
Caddy looks
going
pretty
down, setting up an S.
pretty good. An
Scatty.
S that he has. And I mean, I know once upon a time he knew pretty much the whole dictionary. I don't know if he still does, but
Pretty much,
a
as far as I understand.
human dictionary. So if he has something, he'll probably find it.
But Billy here, keeping up his trend, he has drawn all the blanks
Yeah.
that in all the games that he's had on stream.
That's usually a good way to do well, is to draw all the blanks.
That's
On
one of
stream
my
or not.
favorite ways of winning, indeed.
Yes. Same.
Noah has Snowden in his
Yeah.
rack, which is no deep state
Yeah.
operations over here.
By the
So
way,
let's see if Billy finds Scatty, by the way, because
Yeah.
I think Orangs and Scatty would be
Yeah.
a really nice play for him here.
a little confused by the opening play of Caddy putting the C on the star and not the Y. I mean the Y on the star, not the C. I feel like it's been pretty solidly proven that the 2-point sacrifices next to a double letter score are not worth it.
Yeah, it could be because he saw Scatty. I mean, he
Yeah.
made the decision pretty fast. It could be because he saw Scatty and he's trying to set up the
Yeah.
S for a more lucrative spot.
Yeah, that is a reasonable shout. I'm not sure.
Whereas here, as it turns out, he is perfectly set up Billy
Yeah.
for an S hook of his own. Billy showing solid word knowledge there, recognizing that S hook on Caddy.
Yeah. He did, however, or does have, however, a better bingo.
Oh,
Just
interesting.
just catching up here, but he did have Nugatory,
Ah, Nugatory to the Y. Very nice.
which I'd like to think I would find if I was not just quackling the game as we go. But
Replete with nougat.
oh, global sensations! This coverage is awesome. Well, you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I would happily trade you a sheep for a wheat, or even a sheep for a sheep. One of my friends from Portland.
Excellent. Nose down.
Nose down. I like nose down.
Worth the shot.
Yeah.
Anything goes. TWL. Do you think people play more phonies in the international lexicon or in the American lexicon?
So the reason I think people play more phonies in the international lexicon is just there's more people playing it and more people of differing skill levels, and so I think people it's just there's just more like phony fours and just stuff that just happens. But maybe like at the expert level, I'd say probably more in TWL because of the bluffing factor. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's a solid hypothesis. I think one of the interesting things about, and we should probably focus on Noah's play at some point, but I think one of the interesting things about um, having a more tight lexicon is does it lead to stronger, more perfect play because there are fewer options? You can
Yeah.
think conceptually there must be a point where if there were 10 times as many words, then there's just no way to retain them all, right?
Yeah.
So a part of me wonders if you cross some kind of threshold where when you go from the US lexicon to the international one, it starts just being increasingly hard to keep it all
Yeah.
together and actually keep track of what's a word and not.
That's fair. Yeah.
And Noah played owned ear.
Yeah. It looked like the right.
I was mostly just saying meme words instead of actually looking at the right play, but
Yeah.
that looks very solid,
It,
retaining an
yeah.
S.
It was either owned above or owned below, and I kind of like owned below. He kept an O, so there's something to be said for playing up above, but I think this is the safest. I do see coffee for Billy.
Coffee would be lovely.
Yeah.
He does play Folia here. That was another option.
Yeah,
30
Folia
points.
looks nice,
Scores a lot of points.
Yeah.
EEF isn't going anywhere particularly remarkable, but
Yeah.
Folia just kind of keeps things tight. And
Yeah.
it's a bit of a waiting move. Scores okay. Coffee arguably leaves the board more open. He also blocked a spot for the Z if Noah happened to have it for ads. That would have been quite high scoring. So it's a good waiting move.
Yeah. Pretty good for Billy there, and then his last letter was the dreaded U.
Yeah, on Noah's end here, he's drawn pretty reasonably into the OS. He doesn't quite have a bingo, but he might just be a turn away. And he plays off the IX. It's kind of great because those are the two tiles that you would want to play, and they just happen to go on the board for 26 points. And Tix is sort of a bit of a chess-like waiting move of his own, saying, I'm just going to score. I'm not going to open either. Over to you, Billy.
Also leaves him with a couple. I mean, obviously he wants to bingo, but there's a chance where he could play foliages next turn. I don't know.
Interesting. Makes sense.
Because a lot of times just the board is already pretty closed, so he's just gonna have bingos that don't play. So
well, we said the board was closed, but here comes Billy with outfield.
Outfield. Wow, I didn't even think about that when the U showed up. I forgot that that L was hanging out.
3 points, and here comes Cognizes. Yeah. They're playing at breakneck speed. It's like I'm commentating a horse race instead of a Scrabble match. Cognizes goes down 74 points. How did Noah play that so fast? Well, there's just not a lot of places to bingo on the board, and he had it lined up already mentally, and
I think he just knows already. Like he knows the words well enough to just know that's it.
Right. Yeah, Noah is in some pretty rarefied air in terms of word processing. The stuff that I see him do with blank bingos and Aerolith performances. Not our first time mentioning Aerolith. It's a free anagramming daily tool. You get a score, you can compare yourself to other people, and Noah's one of the best of the best there.
I was gonna say, like, put him up with maybe Dave and Mac as probably the best blank bingo people, like, probably in the world. Like, I'd be ashamed, you might say, to go up against any of them in blank bingo finding. I mostly say that because of Billy's tiles, but
I see. Yeah.
So both players have 3 A's.
Right.
If you're gonna have 3 of any vowel, I kind of feel that's other than maybe the E, that's kind of the least offensive.
Triple A, pretty good. What is Billy spelled for us? I feel like he's trying to. Is he trying to? Yeah, just a shame.
Shame seems to make sense. Yeah.
Put on the D there. 6 extra points. Very well worth it. Keeping a consonant with A is probably slightly better.
You have to add the D.
Yes, that's we are in the American lexicon.
Yes. I have definitely had a shame challenged off before.
I am ashamed of my mistake.
Yeah. So it looks like Noah's going to be stuck doing a little bit of rack management here, perhaps.
That's right. He's at a bit of a deficit at this point here. Billy drawing the Z here, that's going to be pretty important for continuing to be able to score and put the pressure on Noah. I think one of the things I noticed about TWL is it's a little more boom and bust in terms of Collins, or in the world lexicon, it's more likely you just continue to be able to have some scoring play, and in TWL it's a little more you kind of have to. Things can really dry up.
Oh yeah, you'll just run into a situation where it's like, no, really, my best play is like something for 10.
Right.
Um, and I think Noah's kind of in this situation here. I mean, kind of the immediate thing that comes to mind is AGA, kind of above cognizes, but like blocks a couple of lanes. It's pretty not very exciting.
Unappetizing, I
Yeah.
might say.
Billy, of course, sitting on ZA for 66, saving QU. Looking pretty, looking like he's in pretty good shape if he can have those spots stay open. I don't really see them getting blocked, but
Yeah, Aga does go down. And Billy's in the dream position with a lead. With a
yeah,
lead, what you want are easy scoring plays
yeah,
that just don't open anything where you can just score 40, 40, 40
yeah,
and cruise out the rest of the game. And keeping that QU combo, the Q on its own, we talk about being the worst letter in the game. QU is pretty close to neutral.
yeah,
And here it's going to be a nice scoring asset for him.
yeah. And he's gonna want to stay as far ahead as possible because this is kind of one of those boards where like when you have row three kind of paralleled a bunch, it means you can do a lot of openings with in the second row, like where Urang and owned is. Like eventually Noah can make a play, a 3 tile play up there, 2 tile play up there, score pretty well, and open a big triple. So you kind of want to like you're kind of thinking ahead to stuff like that that may happen, and so you just want to like slam the points down as fast as you can on a potentially wild board like this one. But maybe for later, we'll see.
No, that's a really interesting prognostication for what's going to happen to the board. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I sort of wonder in Noah's shoes here, what if you play something like Vral right now, or even just Val,
Yeah.
and he does do Vral. And the thing I like about that
Yeah.
is it's not a particularly easy threat to hit, but it could stay there for the rest of the game. And it's the kind of thing, it could just be a thunderbolt where
Exactly.
Noah gets the perfect
Yeah.
letters and suddenly he bingos for 150 points and wins.
Yeah. And it's just like it's impressive. He kind of just know like that is absolutely the best play. And like just he doesn't have to think about it for a while. It's like it's just the right play. Like he can just play so efficiently on stuff like that.
Yeah, his pace is pretty scary to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
We saw Billy struggle a bit with the
Right.
the clock the last game, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like that's going to be a huge factor here, fortunately for him.
Yeah. Not yet anyway.
Right, but Noah just
Yeah.
yeah, processing power strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's put Billy in a bit of a bind here, where things are starting to slow down a bit,
Yeah.
and he can just block the right. You see how the grimace on his face there.
Yeah.
I mean, he can just play on the right side and gum up the works, and I think that's what he's going to do. Is vape good in this dictionary? Please tell me they have. People vape in North America, right?
That's mostly where they vape. I think so. Probably.
So he could just do something here, like
Vape looks
maybe
great.
vape and,
Vape
and
looks
zap, and
Yeah,
it
vape
just
looks
kind of
awesome.
gums up the right side of the board.
Yeah.
But look what he's doing. He thinks, oh,
Yeah.
VR, that was a dangerous play. I got to sacrifice to
Yeah.
block that because
Yeah.
he saw imminent doom, and Noah's reward is that the right side of the board stays
Stays open. Yeah.
because of the threat that he created.
Yep. And that's part of why if you can kind of induce that kind of like paranoid. I'm not going to necessarily assume it was a mistake. Like I wouldn't have done that, but he basically just kind of bought himself a turn.
Right.
Noah almost drew Vavasor, which would have been cool. But Billy picked up the end, so he now has unashamed with the cue.
Why did I think of that? That's cool.
So it's like it's pretty tempting, right? Like, but I mean, obviously you've got the cue, so you got to be careful. But
Oh, unashamed is the perfect kind of play for Billy. The only downside is, yeah, stranding the cue, and
yeah,
it doesn't turn over a ton of tiles, but it's just one of those intermediate scoring plays that you
yeah,
love
yeah,
with a lead.
yeah,
No, a little unlucky here. They didn't. I mean,
yeah,
he actually didn't have the best rack, and he drew quite well, but
yeah.
he could do something here like odd and Gox. What do you think of that one?
Well, it makes sense. You just want to score, not really close anything. I mean, he's got the M, right? The M is great for the MY. Like, it doesn't
Yes.
score a ton, but like Billy's not blocking that anytime soon. He's kind of can just kind of freely go for that whenever he wants. Notably, he has the last A already. So the A is a great letter here.
Right.
That's another thing. Like, if you know these 1-point tiles, if you have the last one, the value of that letter becomes like very high.
Right. Almost like an auction dynamic or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Auction Scrabble. Oh, that's a good
Ooh,
variant. I
yeah,
gotta think about
yeah.
that one.
That sounds fun.
Imagine that you flip the letter one at a time.
Yeah.
It's like I spend $5. No,
Yeah.
you probably don't want real money in there. But
It could be interesting.
so Billy here, maybe could he just play quash? He's kind of in a bind because he wants to block and he wants to get rid of the queue. And the board is open enough. I don't think he can afford to give up too much to block. Like if he plays something like, I don't know, he's lining up Hep and Ham.
I like that because he saves the QU. If he knows Unashamed, he's also saving Unashamed. He can just kind of sit on that forever.
That's a good point.
The P is pretty hard to parallel, right? Like with an O or with the U.
Right. Hep also takes no hooks
Right.
in North American
Yeah.
lexicon, crucially, which is not true internationally.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Hep for 27 blocking the juiciest lane
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it's a great play because again, like something like Unashamed, he can just keep sitting on that. He can honestly kind of just sit on the queue for a while, but a lot of times he's going to get, Squib coming up at some point.
Yeah,
it's
Squib,
just no
Squad. That's a great
Oh,
point.
looks like Hep does take an S in TWL now.
Ah,
It does, yeah. Well, okay.
I was trying,
I am,
guys. I was trying.
yeah. I honestly, I was like, oh, Hep's good because it doesn't take a. But Omri's is not Collins, right?
Does
I mean TWL. I don't.
Am I raw really not play here?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough blow.
If Omri's got added, then I'm trying not to call out the
No,
Collins words
Omri's
that I know are Collins, but this is a particularly brutal one.
don't play Miss Ware. I don't think that even crosses mind. I mean, what if you try Miss Ware here?
I feel like that's such a
Famous one.
famous one.
But if Noah does it, what do you mean? It's a little like one of the best play.
Yeah.
It's one of I'm trying to think of there's some really great players who take advantage of being able to phony, I think.
Oh, Noah's at least historically definitely is not afraid to play a phony.
Right. I don't know if he's listening, but I will never forget Will Anderson. I've never told this story. Will Anderson made me quit TWL forever with a phony that I didn't challenge.
Phony Collins word or?
No, it was a phony, not a word.
Okay.
So I'm embellishing a bit for the audience, but that was actually that was the last straw. I tilted out the rest. It was actually here in New Orleans. I tilted out all of my remaining games, playing all of them in 6 minutes. Went home, had a deep think, and then I never played another TWL tournament. So thank you, Will. Thank you. Actually, you pushed me the right way.
Yeah,
might not have been the best return reaction, but
yeah. It's also worth noting like Noah hasn't played that much Collins, but he's played a little bit, and he's kind of just doesn't forget stuff. So like he almost certainly knows Omri's.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't affect him at all. It wouldn't affect his play, but like he almost certainly knows it.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. It's like that's with negotiating two lexicons.
Yeah,
it's almost helpful sometimes to know for like you have a promising rack and you say, well, this is the word, and this word is only in the world lexicon versus just having to kind of grasp at straws and think, why does this looks wordy?
Yeah, I studied like that for quite a while. I've gone back and forth, and ultimately I've decided not to, but it can be useful if you're really committing that much time. So I don't really have much of a I don't have too much like what's he supposed to do here?
No, yeah, exactly. I'm kind of ignoring talking about his actual rack because I'm honestly stumped.
Oh, actually, I see a good play. Wame and a gamma. I hate playing off the last A. But that's actually pretty good.
That's the one.
Yeah,
put the M between Aga and
yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Like I really hate playing like I want to keep the A at all costs here, especially looking at 5 eyes.
Yeah, but if you're going to get 26 points from it, that's meaningfully
And judging by how
Yeah.
Billy's been playing, possibly induce a smaller play.
Maybe. I mean, the W is really, it's hard to imagine what he could be trying to set up. I mean, if Noah plays Wame and then face down the next turn, I feel like just kind of
Just go face down.
tip your cap. And yeah, he finds Wame, takes time to find it. Really nice.
Yeah.
Good use of time there. Good play.
Yeah. You could probably consider just fishing the W, but that's like he's down by enough that you just need to hope that this isn't the time where you draw II.
Yeah, sometimes when you fish one letter, you don't score enough to keep up, right? You actually need the variance of, well, I need a scoring play and I need a bingo.
Yeah.
And then having the judgment of when to do what is not always easy.
So it looks like he did pick up no bingos on his rack, but there is an open S that seems likely.
Yeah, on the sinister quadrant of the board. No.
Yeah, no kidding. Noob NEWB pointed out is a good option here for Billy. Saves the QU combo, which is nice.
For the what appears to be the 77th turn in a row. You can see, I feel Billy's a surprisingly fun player to cast because I can almost see his face saying, "Really, I gotta hold the Q again."
Yeah.
But yep, that's sometimes that's what you do.
Yeah, I would personally not play burned here. I mean, he has, query if nothing else. Yeah, he sees query.
Yeah, query makes a lot of sense there. I think noob also would have been.
Yeah, I would play noob, I think, but barring not seeing that, 27 points for the Q seems totally fine.
Seems, yeah, both in that camp of good scoring plays. Sinister does go down. No, finally gets bingo down 66 points. It's pretty much a natural, other than that double where it doesn't hit any of the bonus tiles, doesn't hook anything. So it's kind of on the low side for a bingo, but a bingo's a bingo, and he just needs to do that and draw another one. The blank is still out there, so let's see.
Yeah.
Well, he is going to be incapable of pulling the blank because it is on Billy's rack.
It is, and that's not good news or really good news, depending upon which player you are. Again, NEWB looking good for Billy. He could play Brind, I suppose, if he wants to really open things up for his own blank, because the tile pool he's looking at is pretty bad, but there's kind of no reason.
Yeah, you don't want to do you don't want to do Brind and then get hit with I don't know, unlocked or just something ridiculous. It just adds a ton of variance to what is otherwise a pretty tight setup. Noob is kind of a hard one to see, really. It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I hope he looks a little longer here because he has a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
So you would like him to take the time to identify noob as an option. And in terms of does he know noob? Well, at this level, I would say if you make it to the top expert level, you probably the 4-letter words are kind of one of those thresholds you cross when you start to get serious, and people would just go through, learn them all. I learned them with flashcards. I don't know how you did it.
Man, I never studied I mean, I did eventually, but I just never did. I won't lie. I played 30,000 games.
Yeah, right. You learned it through osmosis, which is functionally the same.
I don't mind bind as a play here.
No, very reasonable. Not that different from noob. Just a few points less. Does keep an E similar.
Exactly, and Billy kind of knows and kind of wants Noah to play down from the R at this point because he just wants to pounce.
That's right.
Is his goal. Oh, certainly an interesting draw.
Yeah, it did draw a bit of a alphabet soup. Senilely? Does that sound like a word to you?
Yeah.
In a senile manner, kind of a pain to even figure out what to do with that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know if this is Noah has a little bit of time. I don't really know if this is the turn to really open things.
What if Noah plays erotic and tries to draw jowl at the top right? Because there's 2 L's unseen to him. Of course, we know they're on Billy's rack, but if you do erotic, If you do erotic, that sounds funny. If you do erotic, then you maximize your chance of drawing the last blank, and then you really just need an L for
Yeah.
a 66-point play. I'm kind of tempted. I mean, it's pretty unorthodox to keep a J and try to open the board, but I mean, if you got lucky, you could even draw like co-joined or something. I mean, that's out
Yeah.
there, but I'm tempted by that.
Yeah. The other, like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because I was thinking Cootie, but yeah, it saves just the J. Is there a world where he might end up fishing for like ejector or something next to PED for like 120 at some point? But I don't know if it's that desperate yet. Your play seems a lot more realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I got to commentate a bunch of Noah's games at the California Open, and his approach to when he was trailing was pretty interesting to me. I think he was very cautious around giving away cheap scoring plays or opening at all. Like he opened things in a very controlled manner. He does Cootie here. Interesting, keeping just the J. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, I would go so far as to say that probably, I mean, at least in his peak, not that he's not really good now, probably the best pre-end game player. Like he would just iterate through things that just myself, Dave, Carl, just people just wouldn't come up with, and like it would just be correct. In this case, he drew another O. He did not draw one of the L's. So who knows? It might actually be a situation where, well, obviously he didn't draw one of the L's because Billy has both of them. I guess I shouldn't. I should sound like I know what I'm talking about. But
Well, Cootie is a lot of points.
it's
I
a
mean,
lot of points.
it's erotic was 27, but
Yeah.
there's 9 more points. So I think there's a lot going for
Yeah.
Cootie. Just draw OL, try to draw into the blank.
Yeah.
No S's left, right? So you kind of this is what I was talking about with controlled opening. You basically have to have the blank
Yeah.
to be able to use Cootie to bingo. So it really, whereas erotic probably gives up a lot of random
Yeah.
8-letter bingo. So really controlled aggression or whatever the right
Yeah.
term is. It's striking. It's actually not what I associate Noah with historically, but this is kind of what his game has matured into.
Yeah. No, definitely. Interesting. 5 in the bag. So if you're Billy,
Played that one fast, gotta say.
oh, he already played. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking over here and over on Cloud9, but yeah. I mean, I guess what he's looking at is there's not a.
What is he scared of? Yeah,
There's not much to
he
be
is the
scared of,
blank,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, in many ways, I think he's like thinking about blocking whatever can go next to that eye right there. Honestly,
Well, also, I mean, if you're Noah now, do you say, my opponent seemed to have no reticence about
yeah,
setting up an S hook?
you can assume that the blank is out of play. So he's now gonna have to try to figure out some way to steal this without the blank. The nice thing though is that he now gets to play with basically guaranteed knowledge.
Right. There are only 2 letters in the bag, and
Yeah.
there's actually a finite number of distinct
Yeah,
pre-end game combinations he needs
Yeah.
to think through.
and the fact that he doesn't have to think about all the crazy things that he could draw with the blank. You can.
You can assign the blank to Billy. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, why?
Why would he play a
Why would
lie
he play
otherwise?
lie?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's kind of nice because he can kind of just like pre-end games are hard, so it's kind of like you just took out. I mean, obviously you're more likely to win if you draw the blank, but given that you're not going to draw it, you just kind of saved yourself. What 70% of the potential options that may be out there.
Yeah, this is when Noah's really going to show his metal and go deep in the tank. You can see him in just total focus mode.
Yeah, and just I'm both players, but typically Noah, especially, great time management. Kind of knows the right place to think on, knows the right place to just not debate for too long. Obviously, Koji stands out as an obvious play. It obviously gives back a lot for Billy, so it's probably not ever going to work. But
where's Koji?
Oh wait, KYE TWO.
Oh yeah. So I see Koji making KYE OE.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, for 40 some, but probably down too much for that to work. I think
I think he has to fish for Jowl. I think he has to fish for the L at this point. Jowl.
yeah,
We know he's not going to get it, but it's the most likely.
right. So then right. So in these situations, you sort of build a list of what tiles I can play. What if you played bunk here
That was the first thing I thought of was bunk. Yeah,
and then bunk takes it back? Oh, so
yeah,
you threaten bunko. Maybe there's some chance that Billy doesn't think of bunko or just blocks in a way that doesn't let him go out. You get jowl next turn, something like that. Of
yeah.
course, Billy has last L, we know, but I think bunk is. But bunk can just draw jointer. I think it's a reasonable try.
Yeah. I mean, I think the simplest win here probably again, it's never going to happen based on Billy's plays. You just fish the U with Urang for jokiest that wins always. I think so.
If you're no,
If you're Noah, you and
but if you think
right. If you don't know that Billy has the blank, I think
yeah,
you just play UN for 4 here and like almost I would assume almost immediately
right.
because that is pretty much I think Billy's I'm pretty much yeah. And to Wanderer's point, it does actually seem pretty likely LYE does imply that Billy did have the other L because why wouldn't he play BYE, PYE, etc. Like he could have drawn them, but
That's a great realization.
yeah.
What is there any way you could threaten inkjet here? Is Ugg and Nug are both not good, right? That's too bad.
Nug. Nug was added.
What about Ugg?
Nug is good. No Ugg.
No Ugg.
The Nug Master himself is in the chat right now.
Yes.
For 15.
The legend.
Nug Master Nug Master 15.
If you know it, you almost want the C back so you could threaten Krojic.
Yeah.
60 points.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can't keep all your letters. You got to sacrifice something. So.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, do you give up? Do you just hope that for some reason Billy forgot how to exist and left the blank in the bag? Like, I don't
I
know.
definitely I wouldn't be giving up here because I think there's a lot of meat left on the bone, and I think you can make Billy's life challenging.
Yeah. But we're open to thoughts. We're open to thoughts here, but we're pretty much expecting no play that plays for the blank in the bag, and even the L's. To Wanderer's point, does unfortunately imply something pretty strongly. I don't know, is Bunk ever can he ever well yeah. Just trying, since we know it's in the bag, seeing if there's anything we can like cherry pick out if he plays these 2 letters.
Can you fish junk and draw Elution? You can do junk. You can fish off the JK and try to draw LN for Elutions. Pretty awful, but
oh yeah, through the UN and S.
Yeah,
He does have a spot for it.
out bike.
Yeah.
We're grasping at straws a little bit here, but it's something.
Yeah. I still like kind of going for Jowl and threatening something else because there's no guarantee on the
Right. I can't count the number of times in my life when my opponents made a play and I think, well, they can't possibly have that, and then they immediately surprise me by having it. It's like, well, why didn't you do this? Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. But surely Billy doesn't play lie without the blank, right? Right?
In a way, lie. You put lie there. Noah bingos, and then he bingos on the bottom, second to last row, and then you get a response. I don't.
But he played it so fast with
Yeah.
12 minutes clock.
Yeah, it's pretty suggestive. If you swap the R and the N in Sinister, then you can do Inkjet. That's the way. Instead, you have to do Irkjet. Not legal in Scrabble to switch letters at will.
Yeah.
For the record, not advocating that kind of maneuvering.
Is there anything? I mean, like we know that there's an eye in the bag that threatens Kiwi.
Seems like it would just be a worse version of Jowl.
Yeah. I know. Now I'm just cherry picking. Like, is there anything such that given what we know, can we
construct a scenario?
Basically.
I think you just do bunk and just do bunk and see what Billy does with it.
Yeah. Be close to drawing threatening bunko and jointer, but not quite. We'll get one of the letters, but the second eye is going to be pretty.
Right. You don't even have two. Whatever you're doing, you don't even have two spots for.
Right.
Now that is an interesting.
On.
That's one of those moves where you immediately look and reevaluate.
Yeah, it's like, did he pick up the right letter? Like, un is perfectly reasonable. It threatens jokiest in two spots.
Right. Is he trying to draw Inkjet?
But he would still
with Ion and Inkjet. Does that? I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, but he would still not win.
Jute like. He was trying to draw Jute like
okay,
with it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
The problem with Jute like again is the L not being, or the suggestion that the L isn't in the bag, but
yeah. But I like the thought of fishing for something that is definitely missable. Like that's clever, and like open a different area of the board. It's basically just unfortunate that Billy can pretty confidently know that there's nothing.
Well, yeah, it's like even if he misses Jute like, you can draw the N and get Inkjet and make things competitive, right?
Yeah.
So it's that's a cool idea.
Yeah. If you mess up the game like 2 turns earlier, would you say he pre-blown the game?
Oh, that's gonna take a while before that one's in the lexicon.
Well, that'll be good enough. Yeah, I appreciate the effort because, like, again, you can't really play for the blank draw because that's just not happening. But
how about Jute Bowl? A bowl of Jute.
Bowl of Jute.
Juke Bowl.
Juke Bowl. Like a jukebox, except it's a juke bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
it has jukeboxes and it's a bowling alley. It's a juke bowl.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the name of my bowling alley.
Yeah. Interestingly, from Billy's position, he actually probably, knowing how bad Noah's tiles are, he's actually probably just supposed to fish and go for his own bingo. So I think this is actually a pretty sizable mistake.
Yeah, this is one of those classic another differentiator. Expert to top expert is he kind of just settled for the win and kind of generally blocking, but he wasn't 100% precise about what exactly Noah was threatening. Or I don't know what he was worried about when he played bowl. He basically said, I'm going to block this just because I'm not sure what he's up to.
Yeah.
And I mean, actually, the funny thing about that is that's how Jute like would have worked. Like if you didn't have the L,
that's what.
And Billy says, "Oh, I better block that lane," and then Noah gets Jute like.
Would it have been enough in this case? Jute like, I don't think Jute like would have scored quite enough.
Well, he wouldn't have the L, so I don't even know. I don't even know what he would play. He would have to play noob, which noob for the win. But I've definitely had tournaments where me winning was because in a pre-end game situation, I realized I was winning, and then I realized my opponent's tiles were horrible, and I got another bingo in. Yeah. And you do that sometimes. People just get mad at you. It's like, you're running up the score, but it's like, no, man, I'm trying to win the tournament.
Yeah. Well, Looks like Noah's on to kind of one of the keys in this end game. It probably won't, obviously not enough to win, but knowing that he can play the J in a number of places right next to a triple word score and know that Billy can't do anything about it. So jig at the top, juke at the bottom that threaten big plays next turn. Jig actually looks pretty nice here.
That's a cool idea. And that's kind of we one of the principles we talked about this afternoon is this kind of keeping systematically bad letters to block, making you exploitable.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened with Bull, right? He played off
Yeah.
all of his best letters, and now his final rack is somewhat exploitable.
Yeah. And so that's what's going to happen here is he's going to get jet down. It's not the best version of this play, but he just assumes like, well, Billy's going to go out in 2. I'm not really going to go out in 2, so
right. And Billy's rack is so inflexible. He's burnt the blank, and he can't really do much to avert it. Yeah. Jig and juke would have been.
Yeah.
Jig and juke sounds like a dance from the 1920s.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Cab Calloway tune or something.
Yeah. So I suspect he is thinking about playing Earn, which would block. Like it's honestly probably not a bad idea if Noah doesn't have another outplay. To be honest, I wasn't really looking that.
Yeah. The old brain switch is gotten deactivated somewhere here.
Yeah, I am cheating right now with Quackle, and Earn is in fact the correct play to block by a few points.
That's cool that you saw that. That's I appreciate making the effort to find that. Saves yep and purr for next turn. If you think you can go out first, yep.
Because Noah doesn't really have any other great plays.
Yep. So this is going to put Billy at 5-1. So he recovers nicely from a challenging game last game.
Yeah.
I mean, he played the phony, but he didn't play bad. So I think he played at a pretty good clip here.
Yeah.
I liked everything that he did. He didn't unnecessarily increase variance and navigate his Q trouble. I mean, it was pretty smooth sailing, but he navigated his Q troubles pretty solidly in the middle of the game.
He's kind of kept everything together pretty. It's kind of even keel, which is kind of what you want to do back-to-back board 1 games.
Yeah. Boring is good.
Yeah.
For the player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So in this case, Earn does officially come down for 3. That's correct.
No, it immediately plays Inti, I think.
Maybe Bennett. Or is that the same? No, Bennett is
Oh yeah, that is slightly better.
+2.
Playing the optimal move of course.
Yeah.
And yep, and purr go down. Final score. Low scoring compared to some of the other games we've seen. Noah not cracking the 400 mark, reflecting some of his woes in the middle of this game, trying to get that bingo down, which he eventually did with Sinister, but a bit too late. And Billy drawing all 4 blanks on the stream so far. I'm sure if you told him, hey, you're going to play 2 games on stream, and we're going to give you the blanks each time.
Yeah.
I think he would take those odds.
Yeah. But kind of quietly, other than probably the opening play of Caddy, which I still would have just not gotten cute with, Noah very quickly and efficiently basically played a perfect game.
Yeah.
Like, can't make any mistakes.
Don't really see it. I mean, yeah. Cootie was, very creative endgame too.
Yeah. I mean, down towards the pre-end game, there were a couple of things, but like just throughout the game, just very efficiently did about everything he could to get to
absolutely
350.
Kind of felt like, I don't know, feels like you're pretty likely to have the L on the blank. I could have played Ungoing for Jokiest, but drawing the blank didn't feel very likely. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty likely to have both the blank and the L. Because then, like, things like Jowl are a threat, and like leaving that open is a pretty tough proposition.
Yeah, I thought of that. I was hoping like you would think about that or something, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Couldn't just go for spread.
I started the group
Like I guess it seemed kind of hard for you to block there.
It was really
With
annoying
some
to
racks,
block.
yeah.
Yeah. But because I had both the L's and the blank, I felt comfortable that like Jowl wasn't going to come down.
Great.
Or like nothing. I didn't see anything that could hurt me there.
Kiwi probably not good enough.
Yeah, I was just worried about the J.
Yeah. Actually, Kiwi would put me kind of close. I don't know if it's enough of a threat.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. I just didn't have like anything that could block reasonably without burning my blank.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably a bad play. I didn't know what to do though. Maybe I just need to play like Use or something like
What
that.
did you have?
EL blank and
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna break for a sec, but just kind of recapping a bit of what we heard from them. So basically, both of them said everything we talked about. Billy with
Nice work, us.
yeah, well, nice work them, really. Billy aware of Jowl. Noah had no interest in going for Jokiest. Billy realized that Lai implies both the L and the blank. He wasn't so hot on Lai, it seemed like, but it seemed like a pretty decent effort for me. I think at that point you got to be thinking about like what ashamedly or sinisterly or something, like you're just dropping ly and trying to go for a bingo. Like I don't know, seemed pretty reasonable. So seemed like they were all over it. We're gonna go to a break for a couple minutes, but we'll be back for 2 more games this afternoon here in New Orleans.